YouTube.
Awesome. And I often go on adventures with her, and today, kind of an adventure. We went on a little photo shoot, and every time we go on one of these adventures or photo shoots, I ask her a question and post it up online. These questions are not rehearsed. She doesn't know what I'm asking. She finds out the same time you guys do. So the question is, you have three main groups that people come to your channel to watch things on: abandoned stuff, Death Valley stuff, and nature walks, hikes, hot springs kind of stuff. So you got three main groups. If you were to add a new group today, what would that group be? That new genre that you're going to be covering?
Well, it's funny that you say that. I kind of want to start making videos about Vegas, living in Vegas, and like Vegas history, like the mob and all those kinds of places.
Yeah,
the
it's
old,
rich in mob history.
Oh my God, there's a lot of mob history from the 50s, 60s, well, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Then there's the old history of the pioneers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm also really interested in is like Vegas today, like showing, like I explored this abandoned location last Friday that was in just a really crummy part of town, just tweaker encampments, people living in literal, under tarps, really destitute people. But then in the background, in the shot, you see the Bellagio, the Wynn, the Venetian, all these beautiful billion-dollar hotels with all these well-heeled guests. It's just the disparity or the dichotomy between those two worlds of Vegas is really interesting to me, and I'd like to start making videos about like this, I'm going to call it the other side of Vegas, and go show people what life in Vegas is really like.
Yeah, I've watched some videos on YouTube where these, I guess, YouTubers are out videoing the underground homeless world in
in the storm tunnels.
In the storm tunnels,
drains.
I've seen that. So
There's actually a lot of interesting people in Vegas. It's an interesting city. People kind of end up there because they can't make it work elsewhere.
Yeah.
And, it's almost like a storm drain. They all just sort of end up washed in there, and all flotsam, jetsam, detritus of society.
Yeah. Some of them like living down there.
In the tunnels? Yeah, a lot of people do because it's free. You have freedom. No one's poking in your business. The police don't go down there. You don't have nosy neighbors. From what I've read, a lot of people really do enjoy their life down there. So I think it's fine. Who am I to judge?
And from the videos I've watched on YouTube, it looks like a lot of these homeless encampments in these storm drains, they're like a community. They look out for each other. It's not like a bunch of bad people down there.
Yeah, well, you would have to, for sure, like form some kind of alliance because, it's a cutthroat world out there. But in my experience, going into those kinds of places, my closest reference would be when I went to Slab City.
Yeah.
Those people there, it wasn't anywhere nearly as scary, or they weren't as bad as they are made out to be elsewhere in the media. Like, they're just people trying to get by for the most part. Yeah, sure, there's crazy meth heads, and you do have to be careful, but...
You did a video a few years ago, I think it was a few years ago, where you were in some kind of rundown nightclub in Vegas somewhere.
Yeah, that one, I got a lot of views on that.
Yeah, that one was one of the first videos I watched of yours, and at first I was actually scared for you. Like, oh my gosh, well wait, she's filming this, so, well, it must come out good, she's posted it. So, yeah, but it looked sketchy at the start.
Oh yeah, well that actually, the backstory was there's another YouTuber, this guy Dark Mark. He's like the Vegas goth comedian. I think that's how he brands himself. Okay. Anyways, he wanted to interview me for his channel. So I go, okay, sure, I'll do an interview with you. And he thought it would be cool to do the interview at an actual abandoned place. So he knew that old nightclub was abandoned, and he goes, why don't we do the interview there? Oh, okay, great, works for me. So we did the first part of the interview in a hotel nearby, and then we did the second part. We drove over to the nightclub.
Yeah.
And when we got there, come to find out there was a bunch of homeless people squatting in it. And Dark Mark, like, he didn't feel safe or comfortable going in. I go, oh, come on, it'll be fine. And there were a few kind of crackhead types hanging around out front, but I don't know, again, in my experience, those people really aren't that bad.
Yeah.
And I guess sort of, like, again, they had formed a kind of little community there where they were all looking out for each other. And the head guy was pretty coherent, and he came out, and he was friendly as can be, sweet as pie. He said, come on in, I'll give you a tour. And that's the big bald guy that was in the video.
Okay.
He was wonderful. So what you don't see in that video is Dark Mark was with me the whole time. Not that he was probably really going to be much help if the guy attacked us, but I don't know. I never felt like I was in any danger at any point through that video. Like, the guy who was giving us the tour was just solid. You could, like, I don't know if there's anything to be said for, like, your vibes or your gut feeling, but he just seemed like a cool guy. And It was great, man. That was
Yeah.
one of my favorite explores. We got some pretty good footage of some pretty creepy stuff in there.
Yeah, that was something I would not explore myself. And knowing that there's someone in there, just even one person, I would not explore it. So,
Well, I probably wouldn't have if that guy hadn't been so friendly. And,
I see.
you know, because I also part of it is if there's people living there, I don't want to go in there. Like, I know this probably sounds stupid, but I don't like to do like disaster porn or ruin porn where there's a lot of YouTubers that'll just go in and like, oh, look how gross these people live like this. Like, it just seems mean. Like, some people are down and out and down on their luck, and if they are actually trying to live there, I'm not going to go poke around their business.
Right.
But the other dude invited us in, and so I tried to present it in a way that wasn't like, oh, nasty, look how these people are living.
You were very respectful of him, from what I can remember.
Well, I know I said ew, gross about a few things in there. Like in the bathroom, I remember there were those 5-gallon buckets of poop and pee. That was pretty gross.
That's gross.
It
By
was.
any standards, that's gross. But you didn't focus on it. You
No.
noted and moved on.
Yeah, I noted everything that I could, and I'm glad I documented it because guess what? It burned down maybe
It
6
did.
months after that. And from watching the video, you can kind of see how that happened. They had a friggin' like a barbecue grill and an open fire set up in the main room. So
That's not good.
yeah, but to be fair, maybe it wasn't that. That nightclub happens to be located right by where they're building that Raiders stadium. Okay, the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's
The Raiders moved to Vegas.
really interesting.
So the real estate in that area all of a sudden became worth some money. So it could have been an insurance thing. I'm not sure.
Good point. So, do we have something to look forward to? A new genre coming out from the Wonderhussy?
Well, I don't know that everybody will be interested in those videos because I feel like most people follow me for exploring the desert. Now, whether that's Death Valley, Abandoned Mines, Hot Springs, or, you know, hiking,
Yeah.
it's still all unified by the desert. Vegas is an urban environment, so there's definitely going to be some people who won't be interested in those videos. But I don't know. It's my hope that my personality will be enough to make it interesting, even to those of you who aren't necessarily interested in that. So, and I will always continue to do my desert explores on the side. You may have noticed I try to upload 2 videos every week. Well, that's specifically so that I can try to appease all the camps who enjoy my channel. Like, if I upload a video one week that's really just about off-roading, then I feel like my abandoned people are going to be. They're going to feel abandoned, so I better put an abandoned video up to complement it. I try to balance things out every week. So I'll continue to do that. If I put a Vegas video up, I'll put a desert video with it. And you can take that to the bank. Larry, thank you.